secret to training 250 athletes in just 10 months is not what you might think it is. Most people think it's a huge following on Instagram or that you have some sort of scammy sales process. In reality, the secret is consistency. And so I've had a pretty good amount of material success, bought a Rolex a few months ago, have done over like $500,000 in sales now in just online business in general in the last 18 months. And I do it all through this little setup, right? It's not super fancy. It's nothing. But I've been able to generate over $500,000 from this little setup because of consistency. And so I run an online coaching program teaching sports coaches how to make money on the internet, reach more athletes, all that fun stuff. If you want more information about my program, you can check out the main video on my channel. But in this video, it's actually a live coaching call I did with one of my clients, talking to them about how to be consistent and why he was struggling to be consistent, because most people know what they need to do. They know they need to be doing more, that they could be doing more, and they lock in for a week, 2 weeks, maybe a month. And then after that, they lose all the consistency. And so in this video, I give him a live training showing him how he can be consistent and my secrets of how, I've made over $500,000 online, how I do over 50K a month now, and how you can just copy me and do the exact same thing. So hope you enjoy the video. I'll see you in there. Typically, we're capped at 10 for our output every single day, right?
Yep.
When you get into a good routine, let's say this is day 1, this is day 2, or even let's say weeks, right? So let's say you can only put in 10 units of energy or output per week, right?
Yep.
So let's say typically you're putting in 10 units of energy, right? But often you're putting in 7 units, let's say, per day of bullshit, right? This black marker represents bullshit that you're doing that is not moving you closer to your goal. And then you're moving the needle with 3 out of 10 units of energy, right? So that's week 1. Week 2, you decide, I'm going to do fucking everything, right? The problem is, so it looks awesome, right? We've increased our peak. Let's say to 15, right? We've increased our peak to, let's say, 15, which is great. Now we have more output. The problem is you still have a lot of shitty habits.
Yeah.
So we're still going to use 7 units of energy. Still going to use 7 units of energy on bullshit. But we're going to use, let's say, 8 units of energy. I know this isn't drawn to scale.
Yeah, you're good.
We're going to use like 8 units of energy on productivity. And we're like, oh my God, I'm 3 times as productive. True. But we didn't get rid of these habits.
Right.
Right?
Yep.
And so what happens the next week? We have 10 units of possible energy, but we're not really going to be very productive. We're probably going to come back down here.
Right.
Back to the mean.
Which then could result in feeling like, fuck, I didn't do it as well, or I didn't do as good, or I'm not as good because of the week prior.
But here's where it gets shitty, right? Week 4, we only have 5 units of output now because we went over.
Mm-hmm.
And we, as humans, can only give 5 per day, right? And so you don't even have the time, effort, energy to do anything productive, right? And so you ride these cycles. Does this look familiar to your life?
Very.
I'm okay. I feel kind of like shit. I know I should be doing way more. So then what do I do? Instead of removing or replacing, I do more. And I think it's awesome. And then the next week or 2 weeks later, after it's wildly unsustainable, I come back down to the mean and I go, oh shit, I feel terrible still.
Yep.
And then we need to recover. You do nothing. And you go, oh my God, I feel terrible. And maybe you go for like 3 weeks in a row where you're trying to get back to just 10 units of output, but you don't even have room to do anything productive.
Yeah.
Right? So what a healthier way to go about this is, and in my opinion, why you struggle with consistency is because you set those expectations on yourself that you're going to go from this to tripling your output, right? But we only have 10 units per day. We have to remember that. Right. So a healthier way to go about this is to try and only give 10 units every single week or every single day or every single month or whatever time horizon we're going on, right? But instead, we're lowering the amount of bullshit we're doing, and we're increasing the amount of productivity we're having, right? So we're not trying to just flip everything on its head at once.
Right.
We're slowly, over time, changing our habits, changing the way we go about things. And then as you can see, we are trending in the right direction. And over a long enough time horizon, you will have only green. You will only be doing things that serve you, right? And this is a lot more sustainable. We can continue to do this over time by taking away bullshit and adding things in that are really beneficial to our life. But if we're trying to add more without taking out and change everything at once, like, oh, now I'm going to start waking up at 5. Now I'm going to start posting 7 times a day on social media. Now I'm going to start blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
Like, dude, of course you can do it for 3 days. Of course you can do it for a week. Of course you can do it for even 2 weeks. But then after that, what happens? You go into it, like your body has to adjust, right? You're trying to go 20 units of output every day for 2 weeks. You're going to have at least a 2-way lag time on the backside just for your body to recover, right? Because you're doing too much. And so, sure, we can always do more. Sure, we can always get better, right? But if we want sustainable growth, then this is the way to do it. The reason why you've struggled being like consistent in the past is because you're an all or nothing type of person, just like me. That's how I was, right? I look back at my college career. What was I? All or nothing.
Yep.
All or nothing, all the time. Look at my stats my senior year, bro. Yeah. All or nothing. Always. And I was never able to make real progress in my life until I started cutting myself a break and realizing I'm fucking human. And this timeline that I'm putting myself on of like, oh, I'm not on pace to, I go 0 for 4 opening weekend and I'm like, oh, all like first team All-Americans don't go 0 for 4. So like, obviously I'm not going to be an All-American. And then my season was ruined, right? Yep. Because I'm all or nothing. Like, it's this mindset that like, it's polarity. Like it is binary, it's black and white, when as you can see, like that's not how life works. That's not how the human brain works, right? Yeah. You put up all these habits that don't serve you. You need to slowly over time replace them, because we need to, like, we are always filling our time with stuff, right? When's the last time you just sat there and did nothing?
I couldn't even tell you.
Never, right? Never.
Literally
You know,
never.
people will classify I'm doing nothing right now, but really they're scrolling, they're thinking, whatever. Like we are always actively doing something, right? So instead of adding activity, we need to replace over time. And that is the purpose of, like, that's like the whole message of Atomic Habits. Like that's what we're trying to do here.
Right.
And so if you can think on a long enough time horizon, instead of I must make $1 million by X date, if we can just think, how can I get better at this stuff over the rest of my life? If you practice this for 60 years, do you think you'll be good at it?
Hell yeah.
Absolutely, right? And that's a lot less pressure.
Yeah.
I have to be perfect fucking tomorrow. We are playing the long game. We are trying to become a human being who is worthy of massive amounts of success. And sure, we'd all like to be these e-com dropshippers who, drive Lamborghinis at 16 and, live in Dubai and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, if you wanted that, you should have picked better parents.
Right. Which you can't.
You can't control that. We can only control the experiences that we've had, the life that we've had, different things like that, right? We can only control what we're given. And so if we can play the long game a little bit, like over time, you will realize, like, dude, people look at my business and they go, holy shit, like, how have you done this so fast? This is amazing. It's like, bro, I've been in baseball for 20 years.
Yeah.
20 years I've known about baseball. All I've ever done was eat, sleep, breathe baseball. That's all I've ever known. Like I've been in sports, right? And then now I have the opportunity to sell to people who were me, or sell to people now who were selling to younger me, right? I am just selling to people who were in the position that I used to be in. So of course I can go fast. I know how you think. I know how, you know what I mean? Like I know exactly how you think because I was there, right? So that's how I can go fast. But it's not because I all of a sudden one day was like, flip the script, I'm a different person. No, it takes time. It takes time. And it doesn't take as long as you think it does. You just need to exercise patience. You labeled yourself earlier on this call as I'm an impatient fuck.
Yeah.
Right? You said I'm an impatient fuck. But the funny thing is, Drew, is that it's not about how you feel. It's about what you do. It's about the action. I feel impatient all the time. I want to, achieve XYZ goal by XYZ date. All the time. I wanted to get here faster. Everybody wants it faster. Everybody wants to get ripped tomorrow. Everybody wants to find the love of their life tomorrow. Everyone wants to be a millionaire tomorrow. In fact, everybody wants those things yesterday.
Yeah.
But it's, can you delay the gratification in the face of feeling like you want it right now? Can you delay that gratification and stick to the script? Run the plays. What do I tell people in this community? Run the fucking plays.
Yep.
This is why, bro. Because the small micro actions every single day will compound over time to eventually where this whole thing is green. You're a super hyper productive beast and you're doing everything that you want and you're living your best life. And you'll look back and be like, wow, I've come so fucking far.
Yeah.